Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. It is time to dive right into the kill zone. That's, of course, with myself and my wonderful, you're also the host. I don't want to say co-host. You're also hosting this. This is co-host 50-50. We're 50-50 doing this thing. I'm with the Night Watch Zone, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Every time I gotta admit, every time you introduce it, I'm like, man, this has got to be on audio. It's sounding pretty good. Welcome to the Kill Zone. I like it.
I know the folks are gonna watch this on replay, and I'm just thinking it's got to be something fun to kick the whole thing off. It's got to be something to get you sunken into the horror space a little bit, to get you all excited. You're not gonna believe what we're talking about tonight.
Well, geez, I mean. I don't know. I mean, it could be anything, right? Wink, wink. No, just let me stop.
It's a weird time right now because I think November is typically this time where horror kind of goes under for a little while. We kind of got burnt out on it, and now it's all about Christmas, unfortunately, for the general public. So I think talking about Scream right now, I think it's just like it's the big thing this month. It's really exciting. We got a trailer to cap off that last month, and we've been kind of just covering it here pretty much all month because that's just the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing right now, right? So
that's right. Give the people what they want, baby.
Give the people what they want. And there is some other exciting stuff going on right now. Of course, a new Insidious flick just wrapped up, which was pretty cool. We have the Creep tapes going on right now. It Welcome to Derry is moving through its first season.
Yeah, I'm digging it, man. I'm two episodes behind. I'm trying to watch them in pairs, but I'm digging it. Yeah.
It's been fun. This episode 5 coming up. I won't say anything if you haven't seen it yet, but I'm really excited. Really excited.
Man. I can't wait to watch it, man. I really can't.
I'm going to shut up. Okay, but but anyways, do you want to say hello to some of the wonderful folks who are hanging out with us tonight? We have Corey Pendragon.
Hey.
Is that what it is? I love that. What's up, Corey?
It's like the Arthurian legends here.
I love it. What's up, Corey? Thank you so much for being a channel member. I greatly appreciate your support. Hopefully you're digging the stream tonight. We got Erica hanging out with us saying, hey, what's up? Welcome in. Bray Nail. Hang on. This was somebody else on the other stream because I was making jokes about Patrick and Squidward literally last night. You've changed your name, my friend. Hello, what's up? Julie Lynn 19, yo, what's up, Julie Lynn? How we doing? Paula Fitzhenry's hanging out with us. Miss Candy, which I think this is Melissa, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's messing me up because YouTube does this thing. I don't know if it does it for you, Knight, where it swaps it up. I can't see the names. I'm just seeing your ats now, so it's it's messing with me.
It does mess you up, and it kind of goes back and forth. Fortunately, and I know it's the same with you, when you see, certain avatars, you know who it is,
Right. It does. It messes me up a little bit as I try to get through as many. I try to say hi to as many folks as possible, though. And then sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what's going on anymore. It's crazy. But Samantha Robinson is back. Thank you for being with us. Appreciate you. I see a lot of people who came over from the gaming stream that just wrapped up. So appreciate you guys a ton. I'm all warmed up and ready to go, Night. Let me tell you.
I could tell. When you labeled this stream as Lord of the Dead, I was like, okay, he's on the right path. This is the way.
Whenever we do Killzone here, I try to for those at home who don't know, I try to give it a subtitle in the email so that it's like just I want to establish the vibe early on. When I wanted Knight to know what he was getting himself into tonight. Yeah. Love that. We got Mikey here too, also a channel member. Howdy, cowboy. What's up? Thanks for being here. Thank you. We got C Weir saying hello.
Hey,
welcome in. Faith Dorn is also hanging out with us. Have a great Thursday. Faith. Same to you. What's up, Faith? Welcome in. Mr. L has got bars. Spit something.
Wow. There you
prove go. It.
I need to prove it. Wow.
We got Renee also hanging out with us. What's up? Renee, are you excited for Scream 7? Let us know. So I'm going to get through a few more people. I promise we're not just going to do this all night, but I do like saying hi to people. Kelly's also with us. Thank you for being a channel member, Kelly. Clark Kent is out there. What's up, Clark Kent? You're Clark Kent. He changed his at. Look at that.
There you go. We know who you are, though.
Yeah, definitely not Superman though. Definitely not. Ghostface Killer saying, "What's up? What's up? What's up? How we doing? How we doing?" Guys, big group hello to everybody else. We also have an Oliver, who's a channel member. Thank you for the support, my friend. Hello, hello.
Oliver.
Our resident Saw fan. We love that. We love
Keep
that.
the hope alive. Hey, Oliver, I just watched Jigsaw last night. I told you guys I was going to do it because I had to see if I really remember how bad it might have been. I got through it. I'll say that.
How was it on rewatch? Because I have not come back to that one.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. It's not one of the best. It just feels like it doesn't have the soul. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the whole idea of having another pseudo disciple was kind of like, it just felt forced, and it just didn't have the oomph. You know what I mean? But it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. And maybe that's just because I love the franchise too much. So much, maybe too much. I don't know, but yeah.
No, I hear you. I don't think for me at least, there's not a bad Saw film. Like, I can kind of vibe with all 10 of them, which is maybe a crazy take, but there's at least something in all those movies where I'm kind of like, okay, at least at least we got some crazy gore. We got some crazy character moments, whatever,
right.
you know?
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree with that.
All right, one more thing, and then we are going to talk about what we're actually doing here on stream. Clark Kent has become a member. Thank you. Hopefully you, Patrick, and Squidward will all be members at some point. That's wonderful. Clark Kent, thank you for the support. All right, ladies and gents, let's get into this. So we are looking to talk about predictions for all of the, I believe it's 19 cast members who have been confirmed. Now, of course, Knight, there are other characters that we've been kind of talking about here and there, some rumored members, but they technically have not been confirmed. So I didn't put them on the list. It sounds like these other roles, though, are like very small parts. I think we've covered the big ones here with today's list. So I think this is the important stuff, realistically. Gotcha. So let's get right on into it. I kind of just want to go through all these different characters. We have a bunch of them here, and we're just going to talk about if they're going to survive, die, be our Ghostface killer, or be a flashback or AI. And I'm really excited to get into all these because I think we're definitely going to have some, a difference in opinion in some places, but that's all good. That's what I love about all this crazy shit. So we'll have to do like a coin flip or something as a tiebreaker.
Okay, that sounds good.
We'll do something to decide where, if we have a strong disagreement somewhere, maybe, I don't know.
or let the chat decide.
I like that. We'll let the chat decide if there's a big disagreement. Okay, but I'm ready to rock and roll. If you are, we can just kick this thing. Okay, hell yeah, man, rock on. Kicking off our list here, we have Anna Camp right at the top. I'll kind of throw this one to you first. What do you think is going on with Anna Camp here? Haven't seen this character in the trailer or the marketing yet. Yeah. But thoughts?
I wonder why. Listen, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and I'm definitely not Killjoy Jake. But if this is not Leslie Mocker, Ghostface, one of the Ghostface killers, I'm gonna be so freaking surprised. I'll rant about it on the next live stream after I see Scream 7 in the theaters. I think there's a reason we haven't seen her in the trailer. I think there's a reason we haven't heard much. And it would make perfect sense for someone of her caliber to have a role like that, which I think will be important. It would suck. Let me flip it. It would absolutely suck if they pull a Samara Weaving with her, where she has, a nice little 10-minute scene or something, and then she's killed or just kind of whatever. She needs to have some spotlight, and I think that's because she is a ghost face killer.
Ooh, I think you already know my answer. I'm very much so with you there. From the moment I saw this picture in particular, too, with the leather jacket, I was just like, dude, this is our ghost. Come on now, look at that. Why is she wearing that jacket? Probably just because it's an article of clothing in her closet, but it just gives me. I look at that and I say to myself, that's a killer right there. That is somebody who's looking to put on a ghost face robe, perhaps, and start stabbing someone in the face. So I think we agree on this one.
Yeah, I think so too. And to be honest, man, I think she could be a killer, pun intended, ghost face killer, man. I mean, Like, don't get me wrong, we have our takes on the last few rounds of Ghostface Killers, but I think it'd be great to have one that like really stands out, that has whatever it may be, if it's just in that third act or what have you with the reveal or whatever, like to have some fun with it. Something like Jill. Like Jill was revealed, she had an extended scene with Sydney, she's killing people, and next thing you know, she's kicking her ass. And I know that some folks, they might feel like 4 went a little long going back into the hospital and stuff. I loved it personally. But what I'm saying is we had a lot of time with her. And I would love to see whoever the killers are, killer or killers, I would love to see a good amount of time so we can kind of absorb them rather than what we saw in 6, where, I've said it many times. I think it would have been great if Quinn had at least another few minutes and something, like a scene that was more focused on her, maybe a little bit more dialogue, just so I could absorb her as a Ghostface killer.
Yeah, I definitely, whoever it is, I want to spend a lot of time with them. I want to learn more about them. And I just think the 3 killer thing, I don't know if that worked for me. I think, doing 2 is already like, wow, that's a lot. But, with 3 killers at the end of Scream, 6 especially, I agree. I just don't think we got to really know them that well. And they all just kind of blended together. They all had the same motive. You know what I mean? They didn't really have,
Right.
I liked the more I watch the Scream movies, the more I'm like, I kind of like when the ghost faces, especially having 2 of them, they have 2 different motives at the same time. Like that's really interesting to me. And I kind of hope we go back to that with Scream 7. I'm hoping whoever our killers are they're working together with different, with ulterior motives, essentially. That might be kind of fun. I don't know, to do something along those lines would be different, and again, just not to repeat itself from the last 2 movies. So
Yeah.
I also do want to say I hope we're wrong about these predictions. I meant to say that beforehand, but I hope whatever we predict tonight is like not at all the case when we actually get to the movie. Right?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be right about these things.
Yeah. No, good point, man. It would be amazing. When we come back, it'll probably be a Lethal Collective stream, I guess, maybe on a Monday, where we kind of all have seen it and are ready to rock, that we sit there and we're like, we were so wrong and we love it. You know what I mean? Like, to go into a movie, a Scream movie, that's what the meat of those films are, is that mystery and trying to figure out who's who and what's their motivations and being deceived and tricked and so forth. So yeah, if I go into this film and Anna is totally doing something different, I'd be very happy with that. I'd be very happy with it. But as of right now, yeah, she's looking like a mocker.
I do agree though. I hope we're dead wrong and all that. But man, just from some of these set photos, it's looking suspicious. But getting into our next little character here, we have Sam Reckner. This is another guy that we have not seen in the trailer quite yet, and also Digital Secure Home Plus. I don't know why that's there, but don't worry about it. Sam Reckner, however, this is a character, again, haven't seen him, don't really know too much about this character. He got announced late in the game. Knight, do you have any takes on this character? Anything on him at all?
It's so tough to speculate. I mean, perhaps maybe there could be some secondary connection to someone else. I mean, for all the talk of Anna, and of course there's some other characters we haven't gotten to yet, this could be someone that's connected to someone else, kind of as a secondary type of character. I really couldn't say anything more, to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to be connected to Sydney. I don't necessarily even think to Tatum. Of course, that's possible, but I think it's going to be someone that's kind of like just on the outskirts, kind of like what we've seen in every movie. There's always, a couple of those characters that even if they're in a group, they're kind of like in that last place. You know what I mean? Like if you got 10 characters, you always got those couple that they're number 7, 8, 9, and 10. You know what I mean? I could be totally wrong though. This could be one of the best Ghostface killers of all time we're looking at. I don't know.
He's got the face for it, right?
He does. And not to make myself sound so, like having a huge contradiction of sorts, but hey, we saw that jump from that attic, and I'm just saying, man, you got to be at a certain physical level to pull that off comfortably as it was shown. So who knows, man?
I think there's got, like, if it is Leslie as one of the killers, she's got to be working with somebody younger, right? Like,
Hmm.
there's no
Hmm.
way that's
Yeah,
Leslie Mocker jumping out of
no,
the attic
no,
to
no.
talk. I mean, we've had this conversation on your page before, but my knees would shoot out of my legs and explode all over the wall. Like, dude, I'd be down for the count. But yeah,
Right.
Sam Regner though. Do we think this character's surviving, dying, Ghostface? What do you think, man?
I would say dying. I would say dying. If I was to just throw one out there, I'd say dying. I'm hoping, and I'm not trying to sound sadistic or anything, but I'm hoping we get some freaking bodies in this movie. We need to catch up. We really do. I mean, people got to get aced out in this friggin' film. They really do, because we're way behind thanks to six.
We're horror fans, man. You gotta want some kills.
Yeah. Well,
Come on now.
well, the other thing about it is that, and again, I'm not trying to sound like, oh, well, we got to have 1,000 kills so this can be a good movie. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, if Kevin can give us a decent story, which I believe he will, if we can get some good performances from the cast, which I believe we will, especially Nev, and others, we got to have some deaths. We got to make some scenes like memorable for the franchise. You think of scenes like Olivia, or Tatum, or you think, just all throughout the franchise, these great moments. Almost Chad. I mean, so it's like,
Almost Chad.
so
That's brutal.
so I mean, in seven, it would be great to have. It would be so cool if seven is a really, really good movie, and there's at least two. It'd be nice if there's at least two death scenes that you say to yourself, "Wow, that was phenomenal. That really got me in the feels." The way it was executed, the weight, the stakes of the person, or what have you. That would be really cool, and I kind of miss that in the franchise. I really do.
Yeah, and I agree after six, we did get a lot of kills in six, but it was like a lot of like inconsequential kills. It was just like pedestrians,
Yes.
NPCs getting stabbed or shotgunned. And it would be nice to have, some deaths that actually held some weight. It's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
let's say Sam Reckner here is a red herring. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of thinking, oh, well, is it him? And then
Mm-hmm.
he dies, and it's like, well, shit, now I don't know who it is again. I kind of like that
Right.
misdirection if we can have kills not only be like brutal and vicious, but also carry some weight in the plot itself and the overarching mystery. You know what I mean? Because you can kind of build up throughout the first act. Sam Reckner's kind of suspicious, and then he dies,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, moving into act two. And then it's like, well, now what?
Yeah.
I love when good murder mysteries do something like that. And again, just something I feel like was maybe a little missing from Scream 6. So
Yeah, no, you're right on the money. That would be great to see that. Like you said, you're thinking that he's that type of a character. He fits the bill in every sense of the way, and the next thing you know, the tables are turned on him. And the other thing too, like, if there's a death scene, and I'm not saying everything has to be super drawn out, but like that crawl space scene, like if we have a death where it doesn't necessarily need to be a chase, but it's something that is more involved than, like, let's say the Vince kill. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just a boop,
yeah.
poking. Damn it, you killed Kyle Gallner. What the hell? I want, it'd be nice to see the victim or the person getting attacked or killed was terrified. Like their heart is pounding. It would be great to see that, in the character, and then have the payoff. I miss that.
Yeah, instead of just walking up to him and killing him and that's
Yes.
it. I want to see the fear, I think
Yeah.
that is definitely part of it for sure.
Mhm.
Lindsay is also becoming a YouTube channel member. I greatly appreciate everybody becoming members tonight. I always appreciate the super chats for sure, but I just becoming a member is like the best way to support the page. So guys, thank you all to everyone who has become a member tonight. That really does mean quite a bit. Lindsay, thank you for your support. Thank you to Clark Kent and Corey as well. Again, guys, thank you so much. Y'all rock.
Hell yeah.
So, red herring, but dead with this character
Yeah.
is kind of how we're feeling. All right, well we'll put him up there. But I almost wish I made a red herring category now because I think that kind of would have been fun.
Well, hey. Yeah.
But we'll specify that now. I think that's the important part of all this.
I agree.
Now, moving on to our next character here, we have Celeste O'Connor. I don't think we have. I'm just saying their actors' names because for at least these three characters, we do not have names yet. But
Right.
we'll get to character names here soon.
Yeah.
Celeste, though, we see her in the trailer. This is a little different than the last two. She's getting tackled by Ghostface and stalked at the bar. Do we think this character's living through all that night?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, she's toast. And it's showing Ghostface trying out for the Olympics when he does that jump and tackle. Like, see, that's what I want. I want to see some stuff like that and have it have some tension that's, strung out a little bit, and looks like she's going to have that type of a scene. And good for her, man. This could be one of those type of memorable death scenes I was just talking about. Fingers are crossed.
I hope so. I think you need the setup and the punch, and I think that's where Scream 7 could really do something effective but still different from the past. Because I'm like, for me at least, when I go back and watch like Screams 2 and 3, I'm so disappointed by the actual kills themselves. The lead up is awesome, but then you get to the kill itself and it's just like, I don't know. It's whatever. If for a lot of those, they just feel a little disappointing. So I kind of hope we can have that lead in, that Kevin Williamson is so good at writing, and then just give us like a Screams 4, 5, and 6 style bloody gruesome kill. That's like match made in heaven Scream sequence for me personally. I think that's why the Olivia death in Scream 4 is like my favorite of the franchise. I think that's just like top shelf, baby. So.
Yeah, no, the Olivia death is awesome. And I mean, like you said, we got to have the payoff. That's the thing, is like, if you kind of just tease us, there's some good setup, but yet the death is kind of lame. It's like, come on, man. If you like Rebecca's death in 4, like,
dude, yeah,
I love that scene, man. It's creepy. You're in the car garage. It's at night. She's walking down towards her car. You can hear the click, click, click of her heels. All these little things that really give the ambiance and atmosphere. I love it. And then you got the quick scare of Ghostface jumping on the car. She scream, a great scream by Allison, by the way. Allison Brie, it was a great scream. She's looking underneath her car, and just when she thinks she has the guts to do the right thing and run to the door, the handle goes off, and just like in the flash of a second, Ghostface comes right up, stabs her in the gut, and it's a great scene where you just see Ghostface and her, just the expression on her face as she's dying. Fantastic. And then, of course, being thrown onto top of the van, the news van. It's like, that's what I'm talking about. We got to have something similar to that. Just it's bombastic, but it also has great tension and atmosphere.
Yeah, yes, I couldn't agree more. Scream 4's got so much of that too. I like the parking garage setting there. I think is just so isolated and creepy. And I just think that if we can get back to that kind of vibe, we were onto something with Scream 4, and then that kind of just got shut down for a couple of reasons. Franchise was moving the TV. Sadly, Wes Craven passed away during that little time period, that break sort of for the franchise. I really think we got to get back to like what Scream 4 was doing with this entry, and I hope that's what we're on to. But to stay on topic here, though, Celeste O'Connor, very dead, like unbelievably dead, I think, right?
Yeah. If I had to put, I actually would put money on that,
Yeah.
And I'm not a gambling kind of guy, but yeah,
dude. I wouldn't be betting against it. I mean, that's for sure. She's Tatum's friend, and if I'm Ghostface going after Tatum, like the plot description for this movie tells me, I'm going after her friend, and her friend's gonna die. So Celeste O'Connor, very much so dead. It kind of seems like that's the case here in the chat as well. I'm seeing mostly people saying this character's gone for sure. But Erica's throwing 5 out there as well. Thank you so much, Erica, for the support. Saying 73 viewers and only 43 likes. That math ain't mathin'. Go hit the like button or else. You guys see what's going on? There's a story being told in those emojis, guys.
I love that. She said, "That's you." Oh, that's great.
She's not going to bite off fingers tonight. She's getting a little more creative. She will use a knife. So please just, for your digits, save all 10 of them and just hit the like button, for God's sake. Okay. Yeah. Erica the Menace, thank you so much for hanging out with us. The Menace mod, that's going to be my next horror film. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate that a ton. All right, moving into the what's our next one here? Oh, ooh,
Yeah.
the girl with the skirt, McKenna Grace.
You gotta love it. You
What
gotta love
thoughts?
it.
We briefly see this character in the trailer, and she's wearing a
Mhm.
very interesting skirt that I believe you pointed out, Knight. What's up with all that? What's going on there?
Listen, you just remind. Do you watch Family Guy?
Yes, yeah.
You just reminded me of that one where he was asking Brian about the book. You know, what happened to that book? The book that you were writing?
I was definitely doing that.
My
I'm gonna be so
protagonist?
real.
Okay, anyways, that was good. We're crazy. Listen, McKenna is amazing, and the skirt is right there. I'm not gonna lie though, man. There's a lot of people, whether it's been in the comments that I've seen or even on social media, everyone's down with the hype. Is there a chance that maybe they were just doing that to throw us off? You know what I mean? Like it was so in our face in the trailer. It was like listen, Stevie Wonder could have seen that. It's like it was right there, bro. Um, but I don't know, man. I'm still thinking to myself, there could be that possibility, with an actor like McKenna Grace and at the forefront as a friend, part of that friend group. I mean, the math is mathing on that one a little bit. I still tend to think it's very possible that she could be a ghost face.
I do too, and I will say I did a video earlier this week talking about my own predictions with this.
Mm-hmm.
But I do kind of feel you. It is in your face that with
It
the
is.
skirt. There's no way we weren't gonna catch that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They definitely did that on purpose to start directing attention towards this character. What I'll say is that she would be the best red herring ever if she was quite literally that. She is literally by the casting director's standards, the perfect kind of actress for a Ghostface killer. She has played
Yeah.
both sides of the same coin in so many different movies. We've seen her play, good guys, bad guys. And here she is in Scream 7 wearing the blue plaid skirt, which is, of course, a big indicator as to an early clue for a lot of the ghost faces. I will say, though, we have seen some characters in the past wear something similar to that and not end up being the killer. So it's not a 100% given. I believe
Yeah.
Derek in Scream 2, right, was wearing something similar to that. And he just ended up being a red herring. So could that be what's going on here with McKenna Grace? What I'll say is that if it is, that is like that again. I just think that's the best red herring you could possibly have because that is the character I am like locked onto in terms of who I think Ghostface is.
Yeah, although Derek originally was supposed to be a killer. Just saying, I don't know,
And that's a good point too.
but no, I mean, I think that McKenna, I mean, everything is pointing towards it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, if I had to go one way or the other, I would definitely say, yeah, I'd go with her being the Ghostface killer. In the friend group, her abilities as an actor, like you said, she can play either side very well and very convincingly, just like Jack Quaid. It's like that type of level of charisma where you could believe her as, a good person or a downright, evil, what. So, but if I have to guess right now, I would say I would go with Ghostface for her.
And I do think it's somebody has infiltrated the friend group. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that's not the case with this movie. So, I mean, I could see this being that character for sure. So, are we feeling confident about putting her in Ghostface alongside Anna Camp? They're working together, perhaps.
I'm confident right now.
I feel pretty confident about. I'm feeling real confident about that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I like we like that. Let us know in the chat how you feel. What do you think is going on with McKenna Grace? Is this a red herring? Are we being fooled right now?
Are we getting punked?
Are we getting? Where's Ashton Kutcher? What's going on right now? God, I feel old making that joke. Jeez.
Right.
Julie Lynn, thank you for being a channel member. Greatly appreciate that as well. We have 4 channel members. This is wild. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome.
Wow. Owen Wilson's here too. Wow, look at. Oh man. Well, this is going to be an easy one. We have Sidney Prescott up next. Knight, what do you think they're going to do with the character of Sidney Prescott, who director Kevin Williamson has said we will not kill this character? I mean, open to any of these slots, really. What do you think?
Well, let me think about that, Jake. Of course she's gonna survive this. There is no way in the known universe that Sydney will not survive. I mean, seriously, she's gonna survive it. It's a guaranteed situation. And like you've said quite often, and I totally agree, the trick of it is how do we still have tension and concern and care? And how do we stay away from a paint by numbers type of story? Well, I think a lot of it is going to be the amount of time that we focus on her, and motherhood, and of course her children, but also the other characters around her. I think that this is going to be a different type of Sydney story, as it should be, and as I hope it really will be. That's my thoughts. But she's going to survive this. There's no doubt about it at all.
Yeah, and I think they've clearly put in the work. Like from the trailer, this was a big thing for me. I'm like, there's no tension with chasing Sydney around anymore. You know what I mean? We just know this character's not going to die. She's always ready with a gun. Like there's just that's not a scene we can set up anymore in this franchise. We have to evolve. We can't just do what we did in Screams 1, 2, and 3 anymore. So I think they've done that by making the focal target her daughter, which is interesting to me, and that's going to kind of make this play out a little differently. And that's what I want. I don't want exactly Scream 1 or Scream 2 again. You're never going to do those movies better than how they were back then. They're just they're so locked in time. You know what I mean? They're so just late 90s, and you're never going to change that about those movies. Why try to do it better now? We have to evolve and do something else with these franchises, I think, for sure. So Sydney's going to survive. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Come on now. This is not the way to misdirect fans by killing this character.
This is not The Last Jedi, okay?
No, dear God. This next character is another easy one for me, but I'm curious your thoughts. We have Joel McHale as Mark Evans. I think we see him just straight up die in the trailer. A lot of people are trying to say, like, oh, well, it's a misdirect. No, I don't even think that's a misdirection. I just think, no, this character's going to die, and they're just spilling the beans already. That's my thoughts, at least. But Knight, I'll throw it to you. Mark Evans, what's happening?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, if we're going by the trailer, and whoever's been tagged with, 5 and 6 in this one, it's like, guys, come on, man. We are watching these trailers, and a lot of us are slowing them down and pausing and freezing. And yeah, Mark is dead, bro. He is so dead. I know some people are saying, well, the way that the trailer was cut, and I agree, the way the trailer was cut in one of those moments, maybe that's not him, or maybe this, or maybe that. But if I have to put my money one way or the other, he's dead. He's just dead. And to be quite honest, and I'm not trying to sound mean at all, but he's kind of got to die, right? I mean, you can't. I mean, and I don't mean to make it sound so simple for myself, you, or anyone watching, but when you really break it down, if you've got Sydney surviving, Tatum has to survive, right? I mean, like, she might be hurt, or it might be a cliffhanger at the end where we don't necessarily know what happens to her, like if she's taken or whatever, but I don't see her dying in this film. So, like, doesn't Mark have to die? I mean, I'm just saying, we gotta make some stuff happen. We just came off of 6. You know what I'm saying? Someone's got to die. Important people have to die, and he'd be the one. He's the odd man out, literally.
Well, and it's also somebody I feel is connected to both Tatum and Sydney, so it would give this story stakes. I think it would also set up Tatum Evans as like more of a final girl character, literally surviving a parent's death, which actually kind of puts her in like literally the same spot as Sydney from the first movie, right? And that's kind of what we want from this character in her own unique way, and this would be the way to do it. Killing her dad dies via this ghost face. Well, now it's even more personal than it was before for her. You know what I mean? So she is now part of this generational trauma in a way that she never thought she ever would have been. And I think that's going to give it some stakes. It's going to give it some weight. And also, this is just a personal thing. I don't think the chemistry is going to work between Joel McHale and Sydney Prescott. I look at that face night and I think about the asshole boss in Ted who's showing Mila Kunis pictures of himself back when he was on the swim team. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that is just not who I imagine Sydney Prescott's husband to be.
Right.
So this character kind of, as Dr. Loomis would say, he needs to die.
Oh gosh, that was great.
I
Good for
tried
you.
my best. Thank
That
you.
was good. That was good. I approve. That was so good.
I just watched the Halloween movies again. Oh man, just so much
Really?
fun. Well, because of October, you know, I
Yeah,
watched
yeah, yeah.
Kills in 2018 recently.
Hmm.
Love them. Sorry,
Yes.
sidetracked. Michelle Randolph, though. This our
Uh,
characters up next. Seems like she's Jimmy Tatro's girlfriend who's hanging out at
yeah.
this stab Airbnb for what we think is the opening scene, but you know we've kind of gone back and forth about how that could actually be the ending of the movie. Is this
Yes.
character alive? Is she dead? Is she falling on that knife?
And it's funny that you brought that back up as far as, the possibilities of it maybe, and it might be a very slim, but maybe not being the opening. Um, it looks like it's pretty cut and dry. Although there's a part of me that's just wondering, just like they did, with Tara's opening in 5, and obviously some things they did with 6. I just wonder, how are we going to be thrown off? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like from the trailer perspective of watching the trailer, we got it. We got pretty much all the beats, maybe small little surprises, but basically we kind of get an idea. And I'm just thinking to myself, there's got to be, and I'm not trying to make it sound like there's got to be so much more complexity, but I just feel like there's got to be more to that opening. You know what I mean? Maybe not, but definitely from the trailer, it looks like she is going to be toast. It
Yeah.
really does. Um, I mean, unless something really, I don't know. I don't know what can happen to make it so that she doesn't die, you know? But yeah, she looks toast, man. She really does.
I just think if the scene has to conclude with the house burning down, and
Hmm.
these two characters are just not getting out alive. You know, I mean, if you think about how
Right.
that scene would be structured, I
Hmm.
there's just no way this character is going to live. I do agree with you though that I hope there is more to the scene than just Ghostface comes in there, stabs these characters up, and burns the place down. I hope there's like, I don't know, some conversation that kind of has some weight for the story later on. I feel like if you look back at a lot of the Scream films, you have that, and these seem like characters who are totally inconsequential to the overall story. It's more
Yeah.
about just the house burning down. So
Mm.
I'm hoping that there's some weight to this scene before we get to the kill for sure. You know?
I hope so too, man. I really do. Because again, a great opening, it has that through line in the film, and sometimes even beyond that film, it goes into another one. So I'm not saying every opening that's the only way you can craft it. Sometimes just having a kill happen, like with Samara's character, Laura Crane. I mean, yeah, okay, she got killed, but the cool part was the reveal, and of course seeing Jason and Greg, and you getting this sense of other Ghostface killers that are out there and just waiting to do some shit. So I don't know, but it definitely looks like she's gonna die.
Yeah, I that knife kill, falling on the knife is too crazy. Like I feel like there's no way we're not getting that.
Hmm.
I know
Hmm.
it was
Yeah.
shown to us in the trailer, but like I want it. I'm craving to see the aftermath of it. You know, so
Right.
yeah, I think that's got to be a death. Now this next one night is one that I know people have gone back and forth on. I like I said, I did a video about this earlier in the week, and this I had most comments were about Mindy, were about like this character. A lot of people want to see this character die, and I'll give my argument in a second why I don't think that would really be the best move for Scream 7, but I am curious what you think about the first Meeks Martin twin.
Yeah, listen. The twins are very interesting. I think 5 and 6, you got this roller coaster for both of them as far as their character and what they did, what they didn't do, what happened to them, what didn't happen to them. Jasmine, and of course we're going to get to Mason as well, but Jasmine is so talented. I do think there's times when she wasn't given the proper vehicle, to do what she was meant to do as a character. I know she's the stand-in for Randy or Kirby, but I also feel like she was never able to really like make it her own. Like when Hayden did what she did in 4, it didn't feel like some lesser copy of Jamie Kennedy. It felt like Hayden doing her thing, spunky and blah 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 blah. She could throw a crack at you like a whip, boom, and she was very, very articulate, and she could just destroy you with words. That's the type of character she was. Mindy, on the other hand, it just seems like they haven't given her enough to do. My hope, and this is what I'm going to say she survives. And my hope is that in this movie, she really gets some really cool moments. I mean, she definitely looks badass in the trailer, when she's fighting with Ghostface. Like, I'm glad to see that. Even if she does die, I'm glad to see that she has that moment instead of always getting stabbed and kind of just like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's do something. So I really think she will survive. I really do.
I and to that point, I just think it would be it would be defeatist to just kill this character off and say, well, that didn't work. Let's move on.
Hmm.
Jasmine is a good actress. You made a really good point
Yeah.
saying that she is very talented. I love her on what little I have seen of Yellow Jackets. Please,
Yeah.
for the love of God, no spoilers in the chat. That is such a good show. If I
Hmm.
have that spoiled, I'm going to lose my mind on stream. But I what I have seen of her in other projects, I feel like she totally shines. In Scream, I feel like she's limited because she's being forced into a role that, in my humble opinion, wasn't necessarily being approached in the best way. Our buddy Fate goes on a lot of rants, sometimes some crazy rants that I just can't get behind. But the one thing I do definitely agree with him on is how they're approaching Mindy as a character. I just think that
Hmm.
she's the exact opposite of Randy, and that's why it's not necessarily working. So,
Yeah.
can they course correct with this film? I think it would be way cooler, opposed to killing her. I think it would be way cooler if they could find a way to make this character work in like a new way, to make her
Hmm.
stand out as a Randy character and not just repeat
Hmm.
exactly the same thing as Randy, but give her her own thing to do. That does
Hmm.
work, and not just being wrong about everything and yelling at everybody about it.
Right, right. I mean, it would be cool to see if the movie had enough twists and turns or enough moments where we're kind of in the dark a little bit. Well, it would be cool if Mindy was able to figure some stuff out, like to kind of help lead, whoever she's with. Obviously, she'll probably be around Chad and probably Gail, but you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of, in other words, prove herself. She comes across as intelligent, right? It's like, I want to see it. I want to see it in action. Don't tell me, show me. And that would be cool, I think. And it'd be a big win. I know myself and I know you and others, look at Melissa, from 5 to 6. I thought they did some great stuff with her.
Yeah.
She had moments to shine more. She had moments to show how smart of a final girl she could be. She was always the one saying, "Yep, let's get out of New York." And I'm like, "Yep, that's what I would do." She was ready to make the best choice almost each time, even though sometimes, circumstances happened or some other character said no, like Tara, "No, I'm not leaving New York." And it's like, wah wah. But Melissa as Sam was great in that film. I would love to see Mindy have that type of level up.
I totally agree. I really, really, really just want to see that happen for this character because it did happen with Sam, and it was a character that, again, I think they struggled to kind of figure out all the way, but I think they did get there in that last entry. So can they make that happen with Mindy here? I really hope so. I do want to say Johnny is hanging out with us, covered in blood in his profile picture. Oh my God. What's up, Johnny? How we doing? First time commenter. I saw this and I had to address it. What's up? What's up? Welcome in, my friend. Long time watcher, first time commenter. Thank you, first of all. What if the thing that throws us off is that one of the opening kills is not a kill, but is unmasked as a ghost face at the end? So we learn who one of them is, like from the get go. Knight,
Yeah.
I'll throw that to you. Do you want to know who one of the killers is just to start this whole thing off?
Well, I don't have a problem with that, but and I know you're pretty set on 2. I think it would work if there are 3. You know what I mean? Like if there's 3 killers and one of them is revealed in the beginning, pretty much like we saw in 6, except they don't get killed. I'd be okay with that. Again, let's go, let's do something fun. I mean, when we watch these films, me, you, and obviously Fate, and of course when Steven was watching them, we weren't always watching them at the same time, but I almost sometimes had this vision in my head that if we were, as we're watching like 6, let's say, after that opening and the opening reveal, I could almost imagine myself texting you guys like, "Oh my God, a reveal in the beginning." Wouldn't it be cool if we have, moments like this in the film that are just like, wow, they swung and it works. It may not always be a home run, but if we can get a single, a couple of doubles throughout the film using a baseball analogy, that would be great. So I would be down with that. I really would.
And anything to recapture some of that magic from that Scream 6 opening. I mean, that was like maybe my favorite part of the whole movie. So, I mean, if we can kind of do more of that here in Scream 7, Johnny, I am so down for that personally. I would love a big shock like that. Something that would break the formula in a really inspired way. Yeah, sure. Maybe it doesn't even have to be like we get a reveal of a ghost face and then they die. It's just we do know who one of them is.
Yeah.
And then there's just more to it than that, of course, by the time we get to the third act. That could be fun. That could reinvent the whole way we think or think about a mystery or shapes it. I'm here for that. Again, I don't want the same thing multiple times in a row. I do think that there are some things you can't change about Scream, but at the same time, we can put the placement of them in different areas to shock and surprise. That's such an easy but effective thing to do that I think just worked in Scream 6, and we could keep doing that with other things, other surprises in this franchise with some of these other things. So Johnny, absolutely, my friend, I'm here for it. I love that. And also thank you for the 5. I greatly appreciate that. I hope you get all the blood off your face, my friend. Thank you for hanging out with us. DJ Plays Favorites is also throwing 5 out there saying, I think this trailer could be a red herring and could give us another sneak peek in another trailer after Christmas. Just my thoughts and an opinion. Is that maybe what that means? Why do
I think so.
I'm just dumb when it comes to when it comes to things like that. I don't know. DJ Plays Favorites. You're too smart for me. But Knight, I'll throw this to you though. When do you think we're getting another look at this film with new footage?
Wow. I mean, hell. Oof. I mean, you would think it would be before Christmas.
I hope so.
That's what I would think, because that would kind of have a certain momentum and vibe going into January, right? Because once Christmas hits, everyone's kind of doing their thing, traveling for a couple of days. It would make sense that this would hit that week, right before Christmas. I hope it does. Could we get the sneak peek after Christmas? It's possible. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say it's not possible. Although I do think that the trailer hype goes on, for a certain amount of weeks, and I think personally it'd be better to do it before Christmas. I could be wrong on that, but that's my thoughts.
I would like that too, because we just got the trailer before Halloween and that clearly paid off. The trailer got a ton of views, like even more views than the last 2 movies.
Right.
And I think a big part of that was because of the holiday. Everyone's looking up horror stuff right then, and that was just a great time to release your first trailer for the next, like, essentially what is the next big horror release. I think the same thing kind of goes with Christmas time. Everyone is going to be going either to the movie theaters or watching TV with their families, something. You know what I mean? They're going to be in front of a screen in one way, shape, or form. That's a great time to put out something new. So I would love something like maybe right before Christmas. I kind of agree. But hopefully we get once we get some more footage, it's going to be a whole new conversation, of course, because there's going to be more things that we notice. There's probably going to be a shot of more of these characters, and we're like, oh, what the hell was that? This is my favorite time of covering a new Scream movie. It's so much fun.
Yes, indeed.
But DJ Plays Favorites, thank you for the $5.02 specifically. I really appreciate that extra 2 cents. Thank you. That's really funny. So we feel like Mindy's probably going to live through this one. Is that the consensus we're coming through?
I do. And I agree with the way you said it. I can't do it verbatim, but basically it just seems like it would be kind of a miss for them to kill her now in 7, you know. Now, of
Right.
course, 8, that's a whole different story, especially depending on how this film shakes up. But I think for this film, it would be really cool arc wise for her to come into this film. And again, she could go through it. You know, maybe there's an attack, or maybe she, you know, we've kind of talked about possibilities of her saving Chad, which would be a reversal of stuff that we would expect. So she might get, you know, hurt or whatever, but to be badass and survive, I think that would just make for a good story. It would make a great moment for her as a character, which in my mind kind of strengthens her a little bit more in 5 and 6, as one of these now, you know, current legacy characters. So yeah, I think she's going to survive, and I'm hoping that it's going to be really, really cool for her.
I agree. I'm going to put her in Survive. I couldn't agree more with that too, because you go back and you watch these movies and you kind of look at these characters differently, knowing, you know, what else has been added to them later on. It's kind of like going back and watching 4 and looking at Kirby again. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, well, that's interesting to think about. Or going back to 5 and thinking about how Melissa kind of changes between 5 and 6. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much so here for that. I want to see this character evolve. I want to actually like Mindy, and I think she has the potential to do it too. Like, I wouldn't say that with just about anybody. Like Joel McHale, for instance. I'm not saying it with him because I just don't think I'm not going to go on the rant again, but I think that Jasmine has the potential to be a great Randy character. I just don't think she's hit that yet. So
Mm-hmm.
let's hope it happens here for sure. But now we got to go to the cyborg.
Yeah, it's Terminator time, baby. Um, Listen, I will admit this is the hardest one yet of tonight as far as giving a guess. Because there you go.
I just real quickly wanted to say Critical Overlord is just throwing out all these Scream 7 spoilers in the
Right.
chat. I'm just kidding, man. Critical is, to my knowledge, I don't think he's thrown out any spoilers. I saw some people talking about it earlier, but dude, thank you so much for hanging
Yeah.
out with us. We really appreciate you, and I'm excited to watch this movie here and talk about it with you.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Much love, Critical. But yeah, you know, with Chad, you know, it's so hard to guess what the hell they're gonna do with this guy. I will say, I think in 6 they did some great things with him character wise. I really think Mason felt comfortable. You know, he was, you know, showing all the great charisma he has. He's having this relationship with Tara. All these things are happening. It's all cool up until the attack that should have been a kill. In this film, I almost feel the same way as like killing him now. It's kind of like, okay, you know, come on. I don't think he should necessarily, like, if he were to survive, I don't think it should be a situation where he's attacked and hurt and he survives. Maybe it's just something like, I don't know, maybe he gets knocked out and Mindy comes in and then fights that Ghostface killer. Maybe that's how that scene plays. You know, it's not that he gets stabbed and survives, but maybe he just gets knocked out. Maybe Ghostface, look, I'm not saying I want this necessarily, but maybe Ghostface can throw some punches or something. I don't know. So this is a tough one, Jake. Listen, I'll say survive just because I think if he's killed in this one, I don't know. I don't know if it'll hit for me. They'd have to really set it up like epic for me to be like, oh, damn, he died. You know, it almost feels like that moment has passed for right now.
This is one I want to change from my video. I'm actually with you. I think that Chad is going to live through this movie. Now, I said earlier on that I'm like, I think this would kind of be like, this could be our big emotional death to have Chad die. But I'm kind of thinking this movie's more about the Prescott Evan family. And I think that Joel McHale is going to be our emotional death, so to say. Like, I feel like the twins are going to live through this movie because I think that in a weird way, Spyglass kind of wants to still give hope out there that they're going to do a Core 4 movie again. And if you kill this character, you know, maybe that doesn't happen.
Good
So
point.
I'm going to, usually 2 days ago, I would have said otherwise, but I'm gonna agree here. I think the twins make it out of this one alive. And another thing I do want to point out is that scene where Mindy is fighting Ghostface in the kitchen. This is seemingly part of that sequence where, you know, Celeste O'Connor is also getting attacked by Ghostface. That could be our kill during that scene. Is that character getting killed and the twins make it out alive? So
Hmm.
the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think they're teasing us right now with that sequence in the trailer. I
Hmm.
think they're making us think these characters are going to die. Realistically, maybe it's just a misdirection. I don't know. Again, I want
Yeah.
to be wrong.
Right. It's really interesting with both of these characters, but probably one of the best points is what you just said. The whole idea of the possibility in the future of the core four. These two, you can't pin yourself in a corner. And we've seen franchises and movies do that so many times where they kill someone like the person is dead. And then it's like, oh crap, well, we can never revisit that particular idea now because they're dead, So I agree with you on that.
Yeah, 100%. I want to do a core four story again in the future if we can. So that would be nice. I guess that's wishful thinking though.
Hmm. Yeah, right. Oh
Getting into
God.
some more confusing legacy characters here, though, we have Scott Foley as Roman Bridger, who is back for this film. What the hell's going on here? He hasn't been in the franchise since Scream 3. Knight, what do you think they're doing with Roman?
I mean, listen, I'm so excited for the possibility to get something really cool with Roman. I think that it strengthens three. It could strengthen the whole mythology of the beginning of this franchise. It could make seven really cool, if it's a really cool scene. My thoughts is that it's going to be a flashback or AI or both. I mean, it could be both, to be quite honest, but I definitely think we got to get a flashback. We got to.
And that was definitely something I wanted to bring up tonight. Man, if we don't get a flashback of some sort, like I'm gonna be disappointed, right?
Right?
We've heard their voices in the trailer. They're likely going to be AI replicated or whatever. But if it's just that, I'm gonna be disappointed. And I'm not even a big like, oh, I need to see this and that from the past in these movies for nostalgia. But you can't announce these characters coming back and then they're just getting in the booth to do some voice lines for Ghostface.
Hmm.
That's just so boring to me.
It is. And it's almost like why even talk about it? I mean, yeah, we all love these actors and these past characters, but just having a voiceover, it's like, dude, that's lame. I'm just saying it right there. It's lame. So it's got to be something of substance. And I think a flashback would be great. And again, they have the opportunity to make this something that is so cool. Like this flashback could be worth multiple things. Again, it could change what we've known or what we thought we knew in the past. It could give new perspective to Roman, as well as possibly another character that might still be alive or whatever. It could really do some great stuff rather than just saying, oh yeah, back, a flashback where he's just, I don't know, doing something mundane, like talking to Billy and Stu, like, yeah, this is what you guys are gonna do, this is how you do it, go get them, boys. You know what I mean? Like that don't get me wrong, I'd still be happy to see Scott, but that would be lame. Give me some meat in that. You know what I'm saying? Give me something to make me scratch my head and make me, when I go home, want to put back in 96 and watch it,
Yeah.
or double check something. That would be a cool way to use him.
I am wondering how they're not getting Skeet Ulrich. Like he's got to be in this movie too, right?
Yeah,
Like I
I
mean, he was in
mean,
he's in the last two movies, and now we have Roman, Stu, and Dude. Like there's no way. There's just no way. There's no way Skeet is not in this movie. That's another big part of this weird puzzle. It's kind of weird
mm,
to look at this graph and not see his face and not see his
true.
greasy hair be
Yeah,
on this. Come on now. Um,
that's right.
we gotta love Billy and his greasy hair. But yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely I'm thinking this guy, he's flashback or AI. Hopefully both. That would be, a perfect world, right?
Mhm.
Speaking of which, Dubert here. Are we thinking the same with him probably or do you think he's alive?
Listen, man, and there are some people that are hardcore about this because they're like, we never saw the body, we never knew for sure. Look, I just don't see any world where Dewey is alive. I just don't. Based upon the films, I don't know. It just why wouldn't we have known? Like it just doesn't make any sense. So to me, he's also got to be. AI flashback, and I don't know necessarily if I'd say a flashback. Maybe it is, like some type of deep fake thing going on. I don't know. I want him alive, but I just don't see that happening. I just don't.
Yeah, it would be wonderful. I think I've said it before. I think Dewey's my favorite character. I just think he has like the perfect arc. Like, and I don't think I need anything else from it outside of a flashback. Maybe to get a little something something between him and Gale. I just love his arc. I think it's perfectly written, and I wouldn't want to change anything about it. He goes from this character who is kind of just dumb and naive and maybe is bumbling around a little bit. And I think that's purposeful with the original Scream. But he gets a little hardened and still just has that heroic heart that is bigger than his brain and sacrifices himself for people he literally just met. That's Dewey Riley. You know what I mean? That's just how that character should have gone out if you wanted to take it there. So this it's perfect. I wouldn't want to see him personally. I wouldn't want to undo that because it's just such a Dewey moment. It's such a Dewey thing to do.
Agreed.
So if we do get him in this film, as we know we are, I hope it's either a flashback or maybe the killer's utilizing his voice to fuck with Gale or something. That could be fun. Now this is where it gets dicey. we got old Stu Mocker down here. This is the one that I think is gonna break the chat here in a second. Stu Mocker, what do we think is going on with him?
Listen, I know there's people on both sides of the fence, and there have been for years and years and years. I just feel like you have Matthew Lillard. Everything that's going on right now with his resurgence, his charisma, the love he has from the fans, the love his character has from the fans. I just feel as though he's going to be revealed to be alive. I really do. And I know that's dicey. It's really dicey. And they're going to have to skate so friggin' well with that story and the way it's executed. I get that. But it just feels like the stakes are so high, as they should be, for Sidney, especially, in this film, to be back in another Scream film. It just feels like it's got to be big time. And Stu fits the bill. He really does. Roman's dead. I mean, who else? I mean, that's who we got. Billy's dead. I mean, it just feels like it's all pointing to him. So I'm saying he's Ghostface, or he is a Ghostface.
I just feel like if it was just him, I'd be a little more like, okay, I think he's actually going to be coming back. I do think he's probably just going to be a flashback or AI. But to keep this list spicy and to keep the Stu fans at home happy for now, because I don't know, I guess I have my doubts that he's actually going to be coming back. We'll throw him in Ghostface just to appease some fans out there. That's what I'll say.
There you go.
Because I know if we don't, it's gonna be chaos. They're gonna be throwing tomatoes at us, and I'm terrified, frankly.
The streets will be filled.
So we'll go with that. We'll go with that for now. Anyways, next up is a character that you might not even really know about, because I heard this update and I'm like, I don't care. I'm not even gonna really make a video about that. I'm gonna be honest. An actor named Tim Simmons will appear in the flick. Him and his mustache. What do you think about this, Knight? Where do you think this character's going?
He's going into the ground. He's got to die. Just as a numbers game. I think he's got to die. Not even knowing who he is or whatever. Like I said, we got to have some bodies, and there you go. He's got the mustache for it.
He's got the mustache for it, man. I see a mustache like that, and I'm like, that guy's gonna die in this horror film. I don't know. That's not even a trope, but I'm something about his mustache tells me he's gonna die. I'm with you on that one. Again, maybe not too much to write there.
Right? Wouldn't it be funny if they add that as a thing, as a trope? Like, you got a mustache, you gotta die. Those are the new rules.
No. Can that be Mindy's new thing in this movie? She's just like, people with mustaches die, and everyone's like, you're wrong, Mindy, and then she's right.
Yeah,
that's the twist.
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. This totally sounds so idiotic how we're presenting it, but That's what I'm talking about. Like if they could do something cool with her character where like it does extend the mythology in the franchise the right way, that would be cool. That would be cool. And I think it'd be great to give her that ability or scene, you know?
Yeah, and just something even like something as minuscule and dumb as that would actually work for me because it would be like at least she was right about something. You know what I
Right.
mean? She
Right.
she nailed something on the money, even if it was
Yeah.
Mustache Man Tim here.
Right.
But anyways, we have a big one coming up next. Our basically what I think is going to be our new legacy character, Tatum Evans.
Mhm.
Tatum Evans slash Prescott, I guess. I don't know. Sydney's daughter, Tatum. Knight, I'll throw this to you. What do you think about this character?
She's gonna survive. She's gonna survive. I think she's gonna kill it. Um, and I think that the story, I should say, will allow her um to show some really good character moments and a great character arc. You know, we talked about parallels to other things such as Allison and the Halloween trilogy and so forth. And I think, especially in 2018, and even aspects of Kills, you know, it was great to see a new final girl that had like her own thing, her own bubble. She wasn't like a Laurie Strode. She wasn't like a Sydney Prescott. She wasn't like so many of the other iconic final girls. She felt fresh. And I liked that. You know, Andy Matichak had some really good energy. And I think that we can get the same thing here. We should, that's, I mean, if we don't, that would be a big letdown for me. You know, you're talking about the daughter of Sydney Prescott, centered in this story being targeted by Ghostface. As a character, she's got to bring it. But I definitely think she's going to survive.
I'm very much so with you there. I just think it would be too big of a loss for Sydney too. And I'm just going off of Kevin Williamson's like talk about this character. You know what I mean? Like if
Mhm.
it's Sydney taking too heavy of a loss, I feel like he wouldn't want to explore that story in the first place. So
Mhm.
losing a lose I don't know, maybe this is arguable, but losing a husband is more viable to me in a horror film versus losing a daughter or
Yeah.
in a Scream movie, I should say specifically.
Mhm.
So I definitely think this character is going to survive. I think that it's going to be close calls though, and that's
Yes.
what's going to make that's going to generate a lot of the tension. But ultimately, I
Mhm.
think this character is coming out on top.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think in this film, I mean, hell, seeing Sydney in four, she was getting taken to the cleaners, getting stabbed, getting hurt in the hospital. I think we could definitely see things, intense like that. Not the same thing, but intense things like that with Tatum, and the whole idea of her being young, is part of what. Oh my God, this poor young lady, so I think we can definitely have some moments of intensity, but she'll make it through.
Yeah, 100% agreed there. I saw some people in the chat say she might die. I saw some like there was a little more back and forth than before, which is interesting. I know we have 100 people now, so if you haven't heard me say this before, I hope this is what you're looking at on screen right now is just dead wrong, and I'm going to keep repeating that all night because I mean it so much. Like I want to be completely bamboozled when we come into this movie and just
Mhm.
completely wrong when it comes to actually guessing what the hell's going on here. But anyways, we have Mark Consuelos up next. This is a character who I don't know if this is a rumor, if it's confirmed, called Robbie Rivers, who may or may not be a new love interest, perhaps for Gail Weathers.
Mhm.
Is that kind of sacrilege considering Dewey's not in the picture anymore? How do you feel about old Robbie?
Well, as far as Gail having a new relationship, I mean, they've already done it, so it's like, all right, the band-aid has been ripped off. Um, I'm okay with it. Again, just like with you, Dewey was probably my favorite character as well, in the franchise overall. He was the heart, he was the glue. But just like many people, I've come to terms with him getting killed in five. Mark as a character, I think he's talented, so I think he'll be fun. Is there any truth to the whole idea that he also will be kind of like they'll be kind of like competing against each other as far as like the whole news thing or talk show thing or whatever?
That I believe is also rumors, but it
Yeah.
sounds like a cool character. Like I'm interested in seeing that, giving Gale something more to do than whatever the hell was happening in 6.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah. I think, and again, she needs that. She needs something to bounce off of. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to see that just for Gail alone to be worth the money. I don't want to sound mean about it, but I'm just saying she is a great character, and you got to let her be that great character. And she wasn't allowed to be that in 6, not even 5, really, to be honest with you. But as far as Mark surviving or not, you know, ugh, that's tough, man. I guess I could say he could survive. I mean, if he's connected to Gale, it could be dicey. Uh, I don't know, man. I'll go with survive just to say survive.
It might be cool to see them kind of have like this back and forth where it's kind of like they hate each other, then maybe there's a little bit of a spark or something, and then he jumps in front of a knife for her kind of vibe.
Maybe, yeah. Do what Dewey should have done in 5.
For her, right? Yeah, I know a lot. That
Yeah,
was a big complaint I remember hearing.
yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's kind of the vibe. I speculated that he would die, so that's kind of where I am with it.
I
I'll
could
let
buy
the
that.
I'm gonna stand on that, but I want to hear what the chat has to say. What are we thinking out there in the chat? Is Mark gonna die? Is he gonna live? Where's the thoughts on this? Dead?
Dead. I love that. It was just so simple. Dead.
I was looking for like any other one. I got nothing else. Like I'm looking for something. I don't know.
Someone says
Um,
he's a ghosty.
he's a ghost face. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Erica
that's
says he dies.
Erica says he dies. Okay. I'm just not good at looking for stuff. There we go. Mark dies. Mark is a ghost. Oh, you know what? Paul was saying this the other night. I remember. Paul was saying that Mark would be our ghost face killer. I don't think he was on set that many days, too, because I remember he
Right.
was talking about being part of Scream 7 on
Hmm.
because he hosts that show with Kelly Ripa,
Yep.
or co-hosts it. That's a term that I'm really struggling with tonight. um, but he co-hosts that show with her, and I remember they were talking about it. And he was like, I think said he was only on set for like maybe a week or something like that.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
I don't know if he could be Ghostface for that reason. You
Right.
know what I mean? So
I agree. I don't think he's going to have a huge role. I think he's going to be, a supporting type of character. And when he did talk about it, on the show with Kelly, that's exactly what he made it sound like. He's like, yeah, yeah, I did my thing in a couple days, whatever, whatever. And it's like, it just doesn't seem like he's going to have anything that's, very, very big as far as a character arc, you know?
so because I allowed this stew thing to happen, can we throw this fella and die?
Yes.
Perhaps. Okay. All right. We'll compromise with that one. I like it. We can't have too many survivors night. That's
It's
what I'm
true.
thinking.
It's true.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Next up, we have Gale, though, and I feel like this is another one back and forth. Out of all the returning legacy characters, this is the one that I see the most people say should die, or at least the most 50-50 on. Knight, Gale Weathers, thoughts on this character?
It's funny because, I talked about Chad. I just don't think they're going to kill him. It just doesn't really make sense. And I also said the same thing with Mindy. But Gail, I really feel like it could happen. And it's not because I love the character. Let me start with that. And I love Courtney. I think she was fantastic, in those early Scream films. I loved her in 1, 2, 3, 3 and 4. But I just feel like they haven't been able to do anything with her since then. And it could be 1,000 reasons. Obviously, the writing is one thing. Obviously, what happened with Dewey in 5 is another. Um, so it just feels like it's time. It just feels like it's time. Like to me, that would be a death that would be big for Sydney. You've got Mark, and then you have Gail. To me, that would be big for Sydney. All the other deaths, is more on Tatum's level, I think. As far as maybe people in her circle or outside of her circle. In other words, maybe not a big matter to her or Sydney, but Gail would be, and Mark. So I feel like this is the time for Gail to die.
I kind of think so too, and I hate even saying that because I love Gail as a character in a weird sort of way. She is our really only true through line through all six of these movies. She's the only consistent. But
Yep.
I don't we're starting to get to that point with Gail where she's just kind of coming back. You know what I mean? And there's
Yep.
no real reason to do so. And it's diminishing returns each time. And I hate that. That sucks. I love Gail Weathers. I mean, I think she's one of the biggest parts of what I love about the original run of Scream.
Hmm.
And for this character to just keep coming back and not really doing a whole lot that really makes a difference in the overall story, that's just disappointing to me. I would hate to see this character. I would hate to see the same thing happen to this character that happened to Laurie Strode in the recent Halloween trilogy, where for me personally, I don't even really feel like she's playing the character of Laurie Strode. Jamie Lee Curtis is kind of just doing her own thing.
Yeah.
So I don't want that to happen to Gail. Maybe the best route is that she dies, and I
Mhm.
hate to say that, but every character arc has to have an end, or else it's just going to get shitty.
Right. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. All right, we got three more easy ones, and I think we're gonna wrap up this stream. We got Ethan Embry. Assume what we've heard from rumors is that he's playing a small role at our psych ward hospital. Like nothing too crazy. Is he like just popping in for a scene, or is he gonna have a big death? What do you think?
I think it could be a death. I think it could be somewhat of a little bit of a misdirect. I don't think it'll be like a full blown red herring, but I think it'll be a death. I mean, who knows? Maybe he does have some type of connection to the killers in this film, or maybe he knows something, and someone's got to shut him up, type of thing. I think that would be the best way to utilize his character, is to have some aspect of the mystery of the story. He has a small part of it, or there's something that he knows, or something that we find out from him, and he gets killed. You know what I mean? I think that would be a smart way to use a character, in that setting for a small part. But I think he's going to die.
It would be cool if he died. I know sometimes Scream movies will have these small one-off characters who kind of just pop in and then they just never show back up. I feel like that's happened a
Mhm.
lot in the last couple of movies. That's kind of who I don't know why. I'm just feeling like this might be that character. But just because
Could
I
be.
want a big kill count, let's throw him and die. Let's see what happens with that, right? Speaking of a big kill count, though, were you gonna say something? I'm so sorry.
No, no, no. I was just laughing at you. Like, I just want a lot of deaths.
I want to see blood, man. We didn't get a
Yeah.
whole lot of blood in that the last time we were with Scream, so I I want bodies to drop on the ground. Jimmy Tatro, speaking of bodies, I think we're kind of already in agreement about this after our Michelle Randolph conversation.
Yep.
This guy's a goner, right?
He's got to be, right? I mean, how does he, how story wise, what would make sense, for him to survive? What would that do for the story? What do we get out of that? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I cannot drag this character for some reason. Okay,
really?
I can do Asa. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I'm just crazy. Okay,
All
Asa is
right.
also a ghost face, I guess. Fuck it, four ghost faces.
Oh, no. It doubled up on you.
Holy shit, man! Oh man, this is an insane movie right here. This is wild. But yeah, he's probably our opening kill alongside Michelle, right? That's
Yeah.
probably what we're getting ourselves into.
Hell yeah.
I'm here for it. Asa, though, for realsies this time, do we think he's a ghost face, or I don't know, where's he going?
Uh, mm. Well, see, this is where I stumble over myself a little bit, because again, watching the trailer, thinking about the trailer, and sometimes that can totally skew everything, right? Seeing some of the things that Ghostface is doing, and the physicality, the build, and we talked about it. There were a couple scenes where Ghostface did look a little slight, so that kind of tracks for certain things or certain characters. But saying some other things that he does, maybe we got to have, a young guy, so it sounds crazy, but I would lean more towards being a ghost face rather than dying. Definitely
Do,
not AI. And
no.
I don't necessarily see surviving is kind of off my map. I definitely would lean more to ghost face.
Well, and I'm looking at this how we have it now. and it's kind of like, here's two like young bucks who are like gonna do the dirty work with like the two masterminds, essentially, like the
Hmm.
Mocker siblings.
Hmm.
With
Hmm.
you know, if this is our theoretical Scream 7, I could kind of get into something like that. They're being puppeteered by, you know, previous killers or whatever. Sure,
Hmm.
why not? You know, just for the sake of making the stream a little different and fun. I think it would be cool, but again, I'm really stuck in this place of wanting multiple motives if we're gonna have multiple killers again. I just think that's way more fun than just having like a bunch of
Yeah.
people who are all driven by the same thing. Like, can the
Right.
young characters have a motivation which makes them want to work with the older characters? Could that be kind of what's going on here? Like Stu and let's say Anna Camp as Leslie are kind of puppeteering them
Yeah.
to kind of do their dirty work for him, but they have a different motive. Like they're going after Tatum for whatever reason. They want to kill her.
Yeah, I mean, there could be some really cool stuff they throw in there. Like you said, there could be some type of whatever against Tatum. Maybe because they know. Well, and I don't even know how Sydney, as far as how closeted she'll be in the story. I would assume she's trying to keep a low profile and so forth. But maybe they know the history and they target Tatum because of that. Maybe it's jealousy or whatever. And maybe they also have some type of fixation on the Ghostface killers of the past. So there could be that type of thing. They're being groomed and they want to be groomed. So that could be their motivation. And of course, you got Leslie, who, whether she's also feeling a certain type of way about what happened to Stu back in the day, but also Vince. So, there is the opportunity to have a couple of different, reveals as far as the motivation for these killers. And I agree with you. That does make it more interesting. You look at Charlie and Jill, you know what I'm saying? I think it was interesting seeing that, Um, so yeah, I mean, I definitely think right there we could have maybe three motivations kind of colliding.
Yeah, and I just think it's way more fun to have like I think if you're gonna have multiple ghost faces like this, it's way more fun to have multiple motives and just be able to break that down. I think the motive is actually almost more important to me than trying to figure out who it is. Like I would,
Mm,
if the killer's obvious, whatever, but as long as their motive is kind of a shock and surprise or something different than the other
mm,
movies, like that's almost more important to me than, you know, the shock of the reveal at this point, just because I think that just flavors a movie, one of these
yeah,
movies, in such a unique way. It tells me it's what the whole thing's about. You know, it's
right.
why did you decide to kill people? I mean,
Hmm.
that is a big step for anybody to go and do something so awful. Like it's got to be
Right.
a good reason. It's got to be a good reason to go out and actually get your hands dirty. So,
Yeah, I
um,
agree.
now before we conclude this night, is there anything else you want to throw out there about Scream? Anything you got going on the page? I don't know. Whatever you want to talk about, man. This is your time.
Um, yeah, man. I mean, we're all having a lot of fun talking Scream. It's just it's been a blessing to have this hype and just the community being hyped up. All these different content creators that we know or are getting to know and so forth. Everyone's just really enjoying this, and I really enjoy it because it just shows the strength of the horror community, especially online on YouTube and social media. So it's a lot of fun. I'm going to be talking more about it, just like you have and everyone else. We've got the collective on Monday. I'm going to hopefully be doing something on over the weekend. I have a couple videos I've been trying to work on and get done. So hopefully that'll happen. And just to let people know, at some point there might be a fun little thing I'm going to do with Jake. And Jake has been not only a great friend, but um, awesome content creator to get to know and watch him cook. And I want to get deeper, and I think I'm going to get a chance to talk to him and pick his brain a little bit. So hopefully that'll be something that'll come down the pike maybe before the end of the year.
Hell yeah, man! I'm excited for all these crazy projects we got. It's gonna be really fun diving
Yeah,
into these things, man. And what I'll say just real quick, well, first of all, go subscribe to the Night Watch Zone if you have not, because I love your channel, man. Always love talking with you on here, and doing these Thursday kill zones have been a blast.
they
Uh,
have.
Absolutely. The other thing I will say just real quick for a little self-promotion here, I couldn't help myself. Please go check out the gaming channel tomorrow. We're doing a 7 o'clock stream playing the new Terrifier game that comes out tomorrow. And I am so excited to get into this because I played the demo like literally 3 times already, and I want to just play the game, which drops tonight, which I'm really excited for. So check out the stream tomorrow. We're playing the Terrifier game finally, which is it was supposed to come out in October. It got pushed, and now here it is in November. So we're playing it tomorrow night on the channel. Stop on by. It's going to be a ton of fun. Go subscribe to GullGotha. That's the gaming page. And we'll be live on this page sometime next week. So thank you guys again for watching the Kill Zone. We'll be live again on Knight's page next Thursday. We'll be live on the Lethal Collective on whose page again? Fate's page is up next. Okay, that's awesome. So Fate decided on Monday, the Night Watch Zone on Thursday. There we go.
We're all over the place.
We're everywhere. Love it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. So much love to you all out there. Be safe and stay excited for Scream 7. That's another thing I'll leave you with. As always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.